All right, now that we have this Git application up and going, this command line application, we need to do some navigation and use some really basic command line commands to go ahead and get ourselves to where we need to go. So as soon as it opens up, it's going to open you in your home directory. Okay, so to kind of orient ourselves, we're going to use the first command, which is ls, which means list. Okay, and I better select into there. There we go, ls. So now we can see everything that's available to me here. So if I look closely, I can see that I have a desktop here. So we're going to go ahead and move to the desktop. So I can type DES and hit tab, and that'll fill it in for me, and I can go. So for you, you're going to be on Windows. You're going to start on your home drive, which is going to sort of be the C level. So you're also going to be able to run this CD desktop command just like me. So now I can use this next function called ls, which means list, and I can list out all the information and all of the items that are on the desktop. So I can see I have a shortcuts folder, and I have a desktop.ini initialization folder. So there's really nothing there. So in order to get started in connecting this remote repo with this local repo, we're going to use a function called git clone. So in order to do git clone, we're going to use git function. We're going to use the keyword clone. Then we're going to go back over here to our remote repository, and we're going to go ahead and select this HTTPS address. Okay, we're going to go back over to our Git application. We're going to paste that in there, and we're going to clone that down. All right, so now what ended up happening is that pulled that repository off of the remote and onto our local desktop. So you can see now I have a new folder called Cyber 101. So let's go ahead and CD in there and look around. So we're going to hit ls, and we're going to see what we have. Now you notice I have a license and I have a readme, just like I have here, a license and a readme. Just to make sure that those are correct, we're going to go ahead and go over to the desktop. We're going to open up this folder, and we're going to open that readme. You might have to choose to use a notepad just to be sure you're looking at it correctly. And look at that. It actually is what it is up there. All right, so let's go ahead and make a change locally and try to get that onto our remote repository, because we're generally not going to be working on a remote repository when we're actually doing our coding. So to do that, let's just make a slight change in our README. So I'm going to open that back up. I'm going to type, this is local. All right, so now I know that I have a change made locally. We're going to save that. We're going to close it out. Okay, so now that we have everything connected with we've cloned our remote repository into our local, we're going to go ahead and start preparing to push that back out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add that file to the commit. So we're going to hit git add with a period. Okay, so that's going to add everything that has changed. Then we're going to do a git commit. And we're going to use the -m element to go ahead and create a message. So this is going to say initial commit. All right? That way I know this is the first time I actually committed up to the repository from my local machine. There we go. All right, now it may be the case for you that you actually have to add a remote origin, but we're going to go ahead and just try to do a git push, and we're going to see what ends up happening. So git push means I'm going to push my local repository and all of its changes back into that remote repository. All right, and it looks like it was counting the objects and the changes, and it looks like everything should have moved over all right. So let's go ahead and go over to our repository. We're going to hit refresh. And now we can see this is local is out on that repository. All right, so that is getting you hooked up now. So the way that it works is anytime you make a change, as you're programming, when you're finished, you go ahead and open up your Git application. You navigate into the repository. You hit git add period. You're going to hit git commit -m, and you're going to type a message, and then you're going to type in git push and push that up. That should take care of you.